Hey guys, and welcome back to I See You. I'm Melanie Sandy, and today I wanted to jump into a brand new topic. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about patience. So, in the Oxford Dictionary, it states that patience is defined as the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. So, I wrote a letter to Patience, and it goes like this. Dear Patience, how and why is it so difficult to accept you, to tolerate you? Having patience is hard, but patience is a great skill that we as people all need to function in everyday life. A skill we need to elevate, to grow, but yet we fail to accept patience and to act it out in a way that reflects the definition. Throughout our lives, we fail to show patience. From pushing the high school graduate to have it all figured out right out of high school, to making the 18-year-old move out and be on his own because we feel he's an adult. Or better yet, accepting the job with the high pay that isn't for you because you lack patience to wait. Or when we expect to elevate in our career right out of college because we were taught that's how it goes. Or better yet, the impatience in finding true love and forcing a situation just so you can say you can check it off your list. The list that's created by society. Patience. How do I accept? How do I accept that my time has not come yet? How do I accept that I have more time to grow? How do I accept that I don't have it all figured out? How do I accept that the image that I created in my head might not work out how I planned it? How do I learn to tolerate continuing to go through the struggle, to go through the pain, to go through the journey, to eventually get to what is in store for me, to get to my time of greatness, when I have learned, when I have figured it out, when I have been patient, when I have waited my turn, and my greatness can only shine through. When I find the job for me, the love of my life, or when the graduate figures out what exactly they want to do with their lives. We have to realize that everything takes time. Time to grow, time to evolve, time to learn and to get stronger, to become humble, to become appreciative of what we have and where we have come from and what you've been through to get to the place where you are today. We live in this world that expects immediate response, immediate results, immediate reinforcement and gratification. We live in a world where we expect immediate growth. However, life does not truly work that way. We need to understand that time, pressure, circumstances, whether good or bad, growth, maturity, they all occur in due time. My mother always used to say, or actually still says to this day, something needs to happen for something to happen. Meaning, time needs to pass for growth to occur. Struggle needs to occur for greatness to find you. Patience. We as people, we are learning. but I need you to be patient with us. In all due time, we will become patient in life. So, that was my letter to Dear Patience. And I want to address a few points because I feel like in this life that we live in, we tend not to want to deal with patience. Patience is very difficult for many of us because we want gratification immediately. We want to go to the gym and work out and see results the same day. We want to start saving and see our accounts flourish and overflow. We want to meet somebody and fall in love immediately and it be the perfect relationship. But this is not realistic. So, some points that I want to address. Living in this microwavable life or this immediate lifestyle. Is it truly realistic? It's not. Granted, life has shown us that we can make a meal in minutes. That if you don't like what you look like, you can go to the surgeon and he can chop up, cut off, suck out, inject, whatever the case may be, and you can have the results that you want in days. But are you really going to be appreciative of that microwavable, immediate response? Or are you going to truly appreciate it when you can honestly say that you worked hard for it, that it took time, that it took you maturing, that it took your growth and you learning? This is where you truly appreciate what you have because you realize that it took time, it took effort, it took work. It wasn't something that was given to you where you can not truly appreciate how much you had to do to get there. So the question is, do you feel as though it's better to have the immediate gratification, or do you actually want to work for it? Another point that I want to address is taking time to prepare, to enjoy life and its journey. We tend to, again, live in this world where we want the immediate gratification. But we need to learn to live in the moment, to prepare ourselves for what's next. Think about it. We want this, I meet this guy and we fall madly in love. But you cannot fall madly in love with someone until you truly love yourself. And that takes time. That takes effort. That takes you doing the work and you truly knowing who you are and what you want. Again, patience. Also, thinking about people who are entrepreneurs and who are business savvy and opening up new businesses. Is it realistic that your business flourish overnight? Or are you going to go through the trials and the tribulations? Are you going to go through the ups and the downs, the struggles, the battles of, do you know how you're going to be able to get through the next day? Or are you expecting that it happen overnight? Because for the person that is given the funds to have the perfect business right off the bat, granted, that's not me, so I don't know how they feel. But what I can say is, for a person who wasn't always given everything and had to work for everything that I have, I learned to be truly appreciative of what I have, because it took time, it took effort, it took energy, it took struggle, it took strength. It took me learning and maturing for me to get to the place where I am today. And for that, I appreciate it more. Enjoying the journey, realizing that it doesn't have to be that immediate response and immediate gratification. Granted, I hate going to the gym. However, I know that when I do go to the gym, I do tend to feel calm, fresh. I tend to feel like a clear-headed mind. And through this journey of me going to the gym, I see myself becoming more dedicated, more motivated, more driven. And for that, I'm appreciative. Granted, do I want the snatched waist and the big booty before I have to go and work out and do the crunches and feel the pain? Yes. If I could wake up tomorrow and the body be perfect, I would love it. However, I may then still have bad habits that's going to bring me back to the body that I didn't love. So over the time of working out, it teaches me to become a better person, to become healthier, to eat better, to work out, which is going to eventually help me maintain the results that I receive over time versus me getting them overnight and not eating well, not exercising, and eventually that immediate gratification that I received is no longer because I destroyed it due to the fact that I was not knowledgeable. I was not educated enough to ensure that I was going to keep my gratification over time. So another point that I want to address is setting yourself up for success. In many ways, when you take in consideration, and I talked about the high school graduate, a lot of times society has taught us that right out of high school, you should know exactly what you want. You should know what school you want to go to. You should know what major you want to major in. You should know what you want to do for the rest of your life, what your career is going to be. And sometimes some people may have it figured out. But majority of our high school graduates do not have it figured out. And we tend to expect so much from them, and we don't have patience with them. So we tend to push them to do things that unfortunately can result in them wasting their time or them becoming so against what we have pushed them into doing that they rebel. I tend to think that we need to learn to, again, have patience. Realize that they're still young and they have time to grow and time to learn, time to mature, and time to elevate. And yes, we want them to be able to figure it out and know exactly what they want, but give them time, because we push it on them so quickly that we don't allow them to think. We don't allow them to mature. They are fresh out of high school. They have been, a lot of them have been somewhat spoon-fed to the point where they don't have that many responsibilities, and now we expect them to just have it all figured out and be ready to walk into this adulthood. And unfortunately, it is very unrealistic, and it tends to result in people, going to school and picking up a major that eventually they're going to have to change, which may then elongate their time frame in college because they have then, chose a different major. So now they have to start over. So having patience with those individuals, because I feel like when we have patience with them, we give them time to truly figure out what they want in life. I think we tend to want to rush things and not realizing that if things happen before it's time, it's going to cause chaos. It's going to be mismanaged. It's going to potentially fail. Think about your life. Think about all the hurdles that you have crossed and all the obstacles that you have, gotten through, and all the success stories that you have. For example, I'm going to take into consideration me being a mother. I was a mother at the age of 31. Do I think I could have been a mother before then? Probably not. I would have mismanaged the situation. I don't think I was mentally ready to knuckle down and do what I need to do as a mother. I was still, wanting to move on my own terms, wanting to only have me as a responsibility. And I feel like 31 was the time that I needed to have that child. If it would have happened earlier, I would have mismanaged it. Or it's a possibility I would have knuckled down eventually because that's just my mindset. But I rather it happen the time it's supposed to happen versus it happen before it's time and it become chaos or it fails. For example, even in a relationship, thinking back about relationships and how if you as a person are not prepared, if you are not mentally, physically, emotionally ready for a relationship and you jump into a relationship before it's time, it's going to fail because you are not prepared. You aren't mature enough. You aren't, you haven't learned enough. Have it be about learning about yourself, learning about others, whatever the case may be. But you have not gained everything that you need to succeed in that situation. Relationships, businesses, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, I feel like we as people need to learn that patience is something that we need to take into consideration, and we need to try a lot harder to be patient. A lot of times, again, we just want that immediate gratification, but that can't be life. We have to learn to do better. We have to learn that everything takes time, and we as people need to enjoy our journey. We need to stop trying to rush things and be impatient, but to take it day by day, step by step, and learn every bit that we need to learn. Understand every skill that you need to understand. Gain any knowledge that you need to gain so you have been able to set yourself up for success. So when the time does come, it's meaningful. I'm here to say, I am one of the people that have been working on patience. I am, very impatient. I tend to want immediate responses. And I know that, that's not what I need to do. I know I need to be a better person at, being patient. And I'm trying and I'm working on myself. So what can you say that, you're extremely impatient about? And what are you doing to fix it? For example, with me, I am extremely impatient when I am dealing with a significant other or a friend or family member, and we engage in a argument, a disagreement, or whatever the case may be. And in that moment, I want to address the situation. I want to discuss, why you're upset, why I'm upset, how can we make it better? And I want to do all of this in that moment. I tend to fail to provide people with the time to gather their thoughts, to, clear their minds, and to, readdress the situation. I want that immediate conversation. I don't want to leave the conversation when we are both upset. I feel like, it puts a weight on me as a person, and I don't like it. So because of that, I am very impatient in dealing with, I guess, confrontation and handling it in that moment. So my question to you, what is your issue? What do you feel you are extremely impatient about? And what do you think you can do to change it? What I have been doing to change and to become better at this skill is I try to put myself into the other person's shoes. And before I get to the point of continuously asking questions, I try to remind myself they may need a minute. And with this, You know, I do tend to still need reminders because, again, this is something that I am trying to, you know, overcome and learn. But this is something that is going to take me time to do better. And I'm going to put the effort in and enjoy the journey while doing it. So I'm here to say, I see you and I hope that you see yourself. And I want to know, you know, what makes you impatient at times and what are you doing to better, you know, and improve your impatience, and how are you going to become more patient in the future. I hope that you guys enjoyed this topic. I would love for you to drop your comments down at the bottom. Let me know what you think, and I hope to see you soon. I see you.